to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, almost good evening. Today's flight is one of the last few times, virtually you can fly indefinitely. What I mean is that Croatia Airlines, it's slowly replacing their Airbus A320, A319 fleet. The A320s are no longer flying, but they still have 3 A319s, and this is one of them. So in the future, all the fleet will be composed, the mid-range fleet will be composed of A220s, the regional baby currently. Today we're flying out of Zagreb in Croatia, so it's fitting that we take their national airline. Thank you for trying to attend, Andrew. Thank you so much for your friendship as well. And let's not waste time. Today we're going to Malta. And I'm saying let's not waste time because I need to make this session today a little shorter because I have something to do right after it. So I managed to squeeze some time to get us to Zagreb, to Malta. About 2 hours flight. We will time accelerate, of course, as we usually do. So but I do need to make it a shorter flight, and I do need to start earlier. That's why you're seeing this live stream starting so soon. I start at 1900 not GMT. I usually start at 1800 Zulu time, so usually. But today I'm starting a little earlier because I need that extra time. So we're starting at 1720-ish Zulu time today, and hopefully we'll get to Malta with daylight, which is always pleasant. Alright, let's go and jump in. Right, welcome to the Croatia A319. Very short fuselage, of course. This is the shorter aircraft from the A320 family, as you know. So Betsy's with us today. Hello, Betsy. Thank you for not turning on the entire aircraft. So I always have this side stick fault. I don't know why. Sometimes this happens. I did calibrate it several times, but well. So let's just turn on the aircraft. Battery 1, battery 2. And let's get the external power in. Alright. Cockpit pre-flight preparation. Parking brake is on. Flaps are up. Spoilers are retracted and disarmed. Weather radar is off. It's off. System 1 and predictive wind shear is also off. Engine master switch is to off. Engine mode selector set normal. Thrust levers are on idle. Gear is down the mondo, and the wipers are both off. Pre-flight checklist complete. Alright, so now let's go for ground services, mass, and load the aircraft. Board
Runway
only.
awareness. Okay.
Meters.
Alright, runway is aware. Okay. Load fuel instantly. Yes. And so now the jetway will be connected. It's already connected, by the way. So we are seeing the plane perform self-checks. Again, the smoke detection fault. If no livestock, we don't have livestock. Aircraft isolation valve to off. There it is. And it clears. But we do need it back, so I will need to be reminded to turn that on. Oh well. Anyway, let's carry on with the flight preparations. So we're coming out of Zagreb to Malta. Weather at Zagreb is 050 at 7 kVOC. Temperature 20, dew point 0.05, QNH 1016. No significant change. Let's turn on everything here on the FMCGC. Just checking the AIRAC dates. They look okay. Let's go to initiation. Request init. Wait for it. Let's go here to flight plan. I'm sorry if my voice isn't the best. I'm coming out of a flu. Always cost index 5. I wonder if I need to change that manually often, because it kind of feels like it's always 5. So we're expecting. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. So, oh wow, my God. Block fuel is 8.5, so not a lot of fuel today. Okay, flight number. Let's insert the rest of the data. Flight number is CTN 223, so Charlie Tango November. That's Croatian airline call sign CTN 223. We have a cost index of 5, as we just saw. We expect flight level 360 initially, then 370 as we go transition south, apparently. Looks good. Let's go to the comm menu. Let's request. Oh, first of all, flight initiation. Let's sign in. So we just requested AOC flight init, and we can also set up our ADIRs 1, 2, 3. Really think these lights should linger a bit longer. The fault lights seem okay, but these I think they remain, they linger about 1 second or maybe a little bit more. But you know, just being nitpicking. Depends on the aircraft, I suppose. Alright, looks like we got everything initiated. Let's just confirm here that we can also request winds right away. And page 2, we need to set that up as soon as we got the load sheet in. Let's go back to the AOC, not this one. See if messages. No messages yet, but we can request an ATC pre-departure clearance. We are at gate E6 or Echo 6. We got 80s Yankee, and the station will be the departure aircraft, which is LDZA. Right, so let's send and wait for a reply to get our clearance out of Zagreb. Let's just confirm Beyond ATC received the request. It did. Waiting for the reply. QNH is 1018 and set. Checked. Alright. So Beyond ATC has replied, we're just waiting for it to properly reply here. So cockpit preparation. While we do that, battery 1 and 2 is on back. External power, accumulated brake pressure. They are in the green. Cockpit lights as required. Instrument lights as required. APU fire test. Fire button and discharging squib. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, ETC has replied. Here we go. So we are clear to Malta, runway 04, departure via Knife 1 Whiskey, climb to 11,000, so we have altitude clearance here. Squawk 1715. One 715 set. Alright, so let's acknowledge that, so we'll comply and send. I'm sorry about these lines, these boxes that appear once you see. I don't know how to turn that off. I tried as I must. It'll always come back, and the Fenix seemed to be the one that has these bigger boxes, these weird looking bigger boxes. And every button usually, as you can see, has this obnoxious box. I wish they could fix that. So I apologize, sometimes you want to read something and this box just stands in the way, as you can see here. Alright, so let's insert this into our flight plan. So we are out of runway 04. There it is. And we are coming out via Knife 1 Whiskey. Done. No transition. Insert. Done. So that's done. Meanwhile, are the passengers being loaded? Because I don't hear them. We do have our door open. I don't hear them or saw them. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but let's confirm. Ground services. Yeah, no one's boarded yet. Not sure what's going on there, but yeah. Let's see if GSX is properly working. Oh. So GSX isn't rolling, but we'll activate ground services. And now this apparently might have mixed everything in this plane, so let's just reset all. Load aircraft. Oh my god. So report Simbrief. Thank you, GSX. Load aircraft, boarding only, instantly. Why? Alright, let's apply the freaking hotfix. Screw you. I'm usually not this aggressive. Evening, Andrew. Let's close this up. We have clearance confirmed. So once more, we're gonna need to reset all, import again, and try to load the aircraft once more once GSX comes back. I appreciate these hot fixes they perform, but they claim that you can carry on, but clearly you can't. So you saw there that it just reinitializes GSX. Yes. So how are we going to do this? Boarding requested. Alright, so now it's working. Thank you. Alright, so we'll set this up. Same with the PA. Just to hear the lovely voice of our flight attendants. Don't get jealous, Betsy. So, jetway is connected, just waiting for the passengers to be loaded. I don't see anybody jumping in, but we still got time. So we got our clearance in. We're just waiting for the passengers to load. Fuel is loaded at least. I don't see any movement in terms of ground services.
Tops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing.
Do we got cargo loaded in? We do not. 0 kilograms.
All of your items must be placed into
They'll do.
overhead.
So the flight attendants are in. At least that's working. Alright, passengers are loading, but I don't see cargo being loaded. Ah, there it is. Just when I was talking, it was being loaded. Right. Still aligning IRS, 1 minute left. Waiting for the CG and zero fuel weight to be calculated based on the actual cargo. So this is the planned and the planned passengers and planned cargo. I only know one airplane that simulates no-shows. It is the FSL A319 Neo. So you might have planned, but maybe only 148 passengers will show up. I've never seen that on the Fenix though, or any other aircraft, to be honest. Maybe there is, but I've never noticed it. I only noticed on the FSL because it's very clearly simulating no shows and less or more cargo, and that's really important to take into account, because one thing is what's on the flight plan as planned passengers and cargo. The other thing is what it's actually loaded. Sometimes there are no shows, so instead of 150 you got 148, for example. I think this is maximum capacity for this A319, but yeah, there it is, 150 economy. But if you have 148, the weights are going to be different, and that's really important, and that's why I always choose to only load the fuel and weights after everything's been done, both cargo, fuel and passengers. And here they are. Here they go. So they're boarding. We just need to wait for them to board. There's no way to rush that. So we got a company message that says probably the load sheet, the preliminary load sheet before GSX borked itself again. Yeah, we got pre-departure clearance, that's covered. Load sheet preliminary. So this is one that we requested, and then the other one that we requested again. The plane is not connected to how GSX functions. So if GSX, if you need to request it more than once, the plane will always believe that you're just requesting the load sheet again for some reason. it doesn't delete the previous one. It's okay, you just need to accept both. So there it is, so Zagreb to Luqa in Malta. Airplane call sign. Zero fuel weight is 56.3 predicted, and takeoff weight will be 64.6 also predicted. Let's go on for the next pages. So passenger count is 150, as you can see. Total is 150, so no shows, everybody's checked in. Zero fuel weight, MAC zero fuel weight is 30.1. This is the one we want, 28.2 for takeoff. Again, this is preliminary. We need to compare this with the final one, and usually the pilots will print this and will add to their flight data, and then they will compare it. Or they have their iPads, they can do the same thing. So everything is set up. Now we can see the departure here. Pretty straightforward. We're going to fly southbound, so as we move out, we are going to fly all the way south, as you can see, southwest, more or less. Actually, that's west, more or less. But I can assure you it's going to be southwest. Don't worry. Yeah, there it is. It's going to go 180 to south. Yeah, so let's set this back to constraint 10, constraint VOR, constraint in ARC 10. For some reason, the COPA is always on R20 for some reason on start. Alright, so flight data is in for our flight, for our departure at least. Our initiation is performed, we just need the fuel weights and all that jazz. So let's now prepare for performance. So departure performance, runway 04, today is dry. When the flaps going to set to optimum, no toga, NTI is not required, PAX will be on, sync for the tow and MAC tow. So this is the takeoff weight, this is the percentage for our trim for takeoff. Actually it's center mass, CG, so center of gravity, not trim. Wind is 040 at 6, temperature 19, or QNH 10. Let's sync it just to be sure. There it is. Now let's calculate. Alright, so this is the preliminary performance, because remember this weight is live, so we're still loading passengers and we're just looking into it. We'll not set this just yet. So our runway 04 is 3,200 meters of length, and it's 45 meters wide, and it's an elevation of 353 feet. Again, the METAR, it's the same one we saw earlier, 040 at 6, KVOC, temperature 19, dew point 06, QNH 1016 set. Oh, it's not the same METAR. I really wish that there was an option to sync all these so that we don't have to go through all three of them. Maybe there is. Let me check. Config. Controls, no. Failures, no. Packs, cargo, no. At least not here. Well, passengers have been loaded. Let's set everything for the departure. First of all, let's turn on the lights. Alright, we're good to go, and doors are being closed, so we're just going to check that out. Start our APU, master switch. So crew supply is, oh, this was off. Ground control for the car CVR. ADRs set to nav, all three of them. Wing and logo lights for the current status. No smoking portable devices. Let's set all these to 1. Emergency lights are armed. Annunciator It's the Christmas tree, as they call it. I don't like that term, but it is what it is. So there it is. All lights turn on. I mean, unless you activate a failure, you're not going to see anything of the sort. Probe and window heat is set to auto. AC temperatures, let's leave it in neutral. Battery 1 and 2, it's just to perform the ECAM electrical check. So we can start our APU now. So let's go to electrical page. So we see bat 1 27 volts 36 amps, bat 2 27 volts 36 amps. It's being charged right now because of the APU starting up. Let's turn off battery 1. APU auto shutdown. Yeah, that figures. It needs the batteries to turn on. My bad. Anyway, let's carry on testing this before we start our APU. So bat off symbology. Coming back on. There it is, 29 volts, 34 amps. As you can see, I just shut down the APU. Not me, the airplane did. And the amps have been discharged. They're no longer in charge. Off and off. On and on. We can shut the door now. Nope, seated passengers again. Probably because of the way the seats are configured. Fuel pumps are off. Engine fire tests. Testing engine 1. Did we test the APU? I don't think we did. Engine master warning. Engine 1 fire, pedestal, as well as both squibs and push button. Same for number 2. Both squibs, push button, master warning, pedestal, and ECAM status, as well as oral warning. So master switch to off because it's faulty. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3. Start up. There it goes. It's APU starting up. Flight directors 1 and 2 are on. EFIs, constraint arc 10 on both sides. MCDU data has been checked. Let's go back to our performance here. So now that we have all the data in, let's sync the load sheet. Final load sheet, there it is. Calculate, and there it is. V1 150, VR 150, V2 154, flaps 1 up 0.6. Stop margins 489 meters. That's pretty enough. Transition altitude here is 10,000, and our flex temperature is 67. Well, that's quite the number there. Thrust reduction at 1,860 feet, and engine up procedures start at the same altitude. Alright, so now let's send this to the MCDU, and there it is. Everything's set up. Now let's go back and let's go for our mass and balance, send to MCDU, and let's confirm that on the initial page, on initiation page. Zero fuel weight 56.3, CG is 30.1, and block fuel is 8.6. It is correct. So we got a full load of passengers in the back. Looks good. So we got it. Everything's ready. Just waiting for the APU. APU is available. Let's bleed it in. Call off the external power, and let's tell GSX to prepare for pushback and start. Jetway should be disconnected and moved away. There it goes.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Betsy's looking stunning as always. This was just me sitting still sitting better on my chair. I wasn't trying to get close to her because I know how much she hates me. All doors are closed. This is good. MCDU setup has been performed. RadNav received setup. IFR clearance received. IRS is aligned. Flight plan has been reviewed. EFIs nav aids as required, and squawk 1715 set. Alright, let's go back to Zagreb and let's nothing tune? What do you mean nothing tune? Go to ground then. Press push and start. No sound. Oh, I remember this. Give me a second. There's an issue here with my sound. It's only happening with Fenix and beyond ATC. So my sound settings will reduce in the mixer. Will reduce beyond ATC for some reason. Here we go. So now we should have sound. Radio check.
Croatia
There it is.
223, radio check.
This is a Windows setting that I need to move.
Croatia 223, readability 5.
Alright, so we're good. So we got clearance to taxi. I didn't read. So face southwest. So let's call GSX and tell them the same. So southwest is to the right. So nose towards runway 04. That's to the left. No, this is all messed up. Nose towards 04. It's to the west. Alright. So dismiss Phoenix what? What's going on here? Oh, it's the GPU.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, let's start number 1. One is available, start 2. It's quite a fast push back.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Oh, I always forget that. My bad. That's in the pre-start checklist. Fuel pumps on. Also the beacon is, I forgot the beacon. So push back and start up. Windows and doors are close and lock. Cockpit door close and lock. Fuel pumps on. Beacon on. Steering pin is inserted. Transponder set to auto. And the clock was run. So you see guys, it's important to read the checklists, especially when you're
Turkish 9
unfamiliar with the
Victor,
aircraft.
ground, expect runway 04 in 1 whiskey departure. Squawk
Set back to
6651.
normal. APU bleed to off.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
Turkish 9 Victor whiskey,
APU
rebel
master
correct.
switch to
Call me
off.
back when ready
NTI
for
is not
pushback or
required.
engine start.
Welcome Turkish 9 Victor
Before
Whiskey.
taxi checklist.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
Auto brakes set to max.
Request pushback.
Spoilers
Turkish 9 Victor
armed.
whiskey, Zagreb ground, hold position
Flaps
for
set to
traffic.
take us, so
I'll call you
we
back.
have
Hold
established
position
it's
for
going to be
traffic.
flaps
Turkish 9
1.
Victor Whiskey.
Set. Engine NTIs not required. Flight controls. Let's check them. Full deflection left. Neutral. Full deflection right.
Tow truck
Neutral.
disconnected.
Full
Bypass
pitch
been
up.
removed.
neutral.
Left is clear.
Full pitch
Right
down,
is clear.
neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder right, neutral. So we're waiting for the pin. There's our pin. Thank you. And Cheerios. Flight controls have been checked. Bye bye. So let's set our trim. It's supposed to be 0.6 up. Oh, come on. 0.6 up. 5, 6 up. Set. And our trim set. And press reset. Alright, we're good to go. Let's request taxi to the active.
Croatia 223, request taxi to the active.
Croatia 223, taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 04 via Mike Charlie, Hotel Foxtrot 2 Foxtrot Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 04 via Mike Charlie, Hotel Foxtrot 2 Foxtrot Alpha, Croatia 223.
Alright, let's pick up the charts for Croatia. So we need the airport reference. So we are right here. We need to go through hotel. So Mike Charlie is this one, then hotel, then Fox all the way down, and then Alpha. Which looks good. Let's go. Parking brake off. Let's start moving. What's going on here with my track IR? Much better. Say goodbye to Zagreb. Nice little scenery. Small airport. I don't see Croatia Airlines jets here, but that's probably because of my traffic injection. Probably doesn't have Croatia Airlines liveries. But at least we got traffic. Taxi checklist, nose light is set to taxi, runway turn off lights on, strobes set to auto, good call, and takeoff config check, so we're still waiting for the cabin.
Pushback approved, face southwest, Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
Seems like a Turkish Airlines will follow us. Cabin's ready.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. Quite a fast safety briefing for the passengers. So now we're going to turn to Alpha to our left. Actually, it's not Alpha. Which one is it? Oh, it's to the left. I'm just being hotel, then Fox, and then Alpha. So let's go to hotel here. So it's telling me that runway 04 is to the left. That's the one I need. So this plane has chart following, so we can see a little chevron there moving towards the active. You can also do something really cool, which is you can draw, so you can tell where you want to go. But let's not do that right now because it messes everything up.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey, taxi for departure.
Hello, Drexy.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey, taxi to
How are
holding
you?
point Alpha, runway 04 via Mike Charlie, Hotel Foxtrot 2 Foxtrot
So
Alpha.
takeoff config has been
Taxi to
completed.
holding point
Takeoff
Alpha,
config normal.
runway 04 via Mike Charlie, Hotel Foxtrot 2 Foxtrot Alpha.
Ah, there's a
Turkish 9
Croatia
Victor Whiskey.
319. Look at that. Nice. So another 319. Like I said in the beginning, Croatia is replacing all of their aircraft, Airbuses, for A320s. So the 319s, the one we're flying today, are a dying breed, I suppose. A lot of airlines are just discontinuing the 319. I guess the 320 can do the same and better. especially the Neos. So I stick to the 319s, right? Let's go outside and appreciate this beautiful airplane. I say it's beautiful because for me all planes are beautiful. Some are really nasty, ugly looking, but if they fly, I love them anyway. Am I alone in that?
Croatia 19 Hotel, taxi to Ram, Whiskey 11 via Echo Foxtrot.
Taxi to Ramp, Whiskey 11 via Echo Foxtrot, Croatia 19 Hotel.
It's like that old saying, when you meet someone that's physically ugly, you have that phrase, that's the face only a mother could love. I guess I'm like that for aircraft. Oh, look at that, Prime Air. I didn't know Prime Air flew in Europe. Honestly didn't. First time I've seen in the sim a Prime Air 737. I did fly a few weeks ago, flying out of Boston to Newark. If anybody missed it, you should take a good look at it. It was quite an amusing flight. I took the Boeing 737-800.
All aircraft be advised, information mic now current, QNH 1017.
1017. Set, and this one's a little more tricky. Done. Alright, we're coming up on runway 04. There's a suspiciously looking white A320. I wonder if...
Croatia 223, contact Zagreb Tower 118.
Oh, it's Ukrainian.
Contact Tower 118.3 Croatia 223.
I think it's Ukrainian. You are. I think it's Ukrainian. Oh, an helicopter. Nice. Alright, let's hold on the visual holding point and complete our checks. So I'm going to wait for vRAAS to tell us which runway this is. Should be runway 04. Stop here. vRAAS didn't say it, but it's probably right on the threshold. Alright, let's review the before takeoff checklist. Cabin crew will be notified. Exterior lights set for takeoff, as well as nose wheel steering lights. NTI is not required. PACs will be turned on. TCAS set for TARA. We can set that just now. And set this to above as well. Set to above. Weather radar set on. Predictive wind shear set to auto. Takeoff memo, no blue. We're ready, so let's request departure.
Croatia 223, holding short, runway 04.
Croatia 223, Zagreb Tower, wind 040 degrees, 5 knots, runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04 cleared for takeoff, Croatia 223.
Clear for takeoff.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey ready for departure, runway 04.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey, hold short of runway 04 departing traffic.
Holding short of runway 04.
Approaching 04.
See, we're right on the threshold. Why is it TCAS on standby? Oh, because it's on auto, alright. So we got a new company message. We'll review that airborne. It's probably the final load sheet. No bother. On runway 04.
On runway 04.
Here we go. %. Flex 67 SRS runway.
Runway 04 line up and wait. Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
80 knots. 100. Little to the right to miss the runway lights. 140. V1, rotate. Positive right gear up. And immediate turn to the right.
Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey Zagreb Tower, wind 040 degrees, 5 knots, runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04
Middle
cleared for
marker.
takeoff, Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
Croatia 223, contact Zagreb radar 118.885.
Switching to Zagreb radar.
Contact Zagreb radar 118.885, Croatia 223.
Thrust set
Zagreb
climb.
radar, Croatia 223, 2,100 feet.
Croatia 223, Zagreb radar identified. Climb to flight level 180.
Climb to flight level 180, Croatia 223.
Flaps up, speed check, flaps up. 180. You know what, I think I'm going to take it manually while I can, to the transition altitude at least. We still have TCAS on standby, why? It's gotta be a bug.
Zagreb radar.
See there, TCAS standby.
1,400 feet. Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey, Zagreb radar identified. Climb to flight level 170. Climb to flight level 170, Turkish 9 Victor Whiskey.
Alright, after takeoff checklist. Speed brakes are disarmed, flaps up, thrust set to climb, autopilot has required, nose wheel lights and taxi lights to off. After takeoff checklist complete. Alright, let's turn on AP1, let's see. So we got here this warning, TCAS standby, and looking here at my TCAS, I probably pressed that button by accident. So it was being turned on. I just saw that it was this altitude repeating was reporting. I mean, was turned off, and now it's correct. So we're going towards the first constraint. That's 7,000 feet. It's anything above 3,000 at the ZAB 03, but then the next constraint is ZAB 04, and we do need to halt. We can't continue climb above that altitude. That's the constraint we need to follow. So let's go back here for the departure. So we're following knives. So it's this one right here. It's knives 1 whiskey. And as you can see there, there's a constraint of 7,000. Remember, the transition altitude here is 10,000 feet, so it's still altitude. Trexie, sorry to have missed your chat. So this is a Croatia A319. Let's take a look outside. One of the last few 319s flying for Croatia Airlines. We're coming out of Zagreb in Croatia to Malta. Welcome back, Andrew. Sorry, I missed your chat. You missed your question. So let's address that company message we got there. Yeah, it's the final load sheet. So we'll just accept that. We already checked that on our EFB. Alright, so the plane is now out of the constraint. There's a new constraint up ahead, that's 9,000. So we're still going to fly towards 9,000 before we can accomplish the 18,000 or flight level 180. I forgot to launch the chrono, but we got the elapsed time out of the gate. I have a huge warning in my checklist for the chrono, and I still forget it. It's unbelievable. It's got to be ingrained in here, otherwise it won't work. And the fact that I fly different planes all the time doesn't help. If I was a regular, so transition altitude, QNH set standard. Standard. And oh, sorry, it's this button, standard, set. I did press standard, what the heck? By the way, if you have different QNH settings, it will tell you that there's a disagree between the altimeters. There's a reason why there's three. There's two active, co-pilot and first officer, and one standby. That's usually used by ISIS here. So as usual, we will wait for the transition to cruise, and then we'll accelerate time. So the difference between these departures, well, some people ask me about it. So you say he KOTOR 1 whiskey and knives 1 whiskey. You also have 1 uniform and put it 1 whiskey.
Croatia 223, contact Zagreb radar 124.85, bye-bye.
Contact Zagreb radar 124.85, Croatia 223. Zagreb radar, Croatia 223.
We're going to get a new altitude clearance.
155 for flight level 180.
Croatia 223, Zagreb radar identified, climb to flight level 360.
Climb to flight level 360, Croatia 223.
And set there. So we're not going to go, it's not magenta, because we're still going to follow this constraint. So we have one here. Well, it's going to follow it because it's above the constraint. But yeah, you need to pay attention to the constraints here. So you see here it's 9,000, we passed that, so no point following that. So passing 10,000 feet, by the way, external lights off. And we can set this off for now. So turn this on, bring out the compass. So I was explaining the difference between these points. So these are all RNAV departures for the same runway 04. At Zagreb, but the difference between them is where you want to go. So our departure will send us southwest, as we saw there, southwest, yes, and therefore we're going to take knives. But if we were going to pure west, we would go to KOTOR, and if we went north, we would go with PODET. And even KOTOR has two. It has whiskey and uniform, because you might perform a left-hand turn towards this departure, 1 uniform, or you might be for 1 whiskey, so that's west. Usually these letters stand for destinations, but it might not be the case. But these seem to be that, just that. I think uniform is, yeah, up, I would say. But whiskey definitely is westbound, so both of these are westbound. So I'm not sure about the U standing for up. Usually when it goes north, it says 1 November, for example. But this is, you know, let's not dwell in why they picked this. So if we wanted to go to, let's say, to Portugal, we would probably take KOTOR, either 1 uniform or 1 whiskey, right there. Either one of them would do. And as you can see, KOTOR 1 whiskey is only this little leg here. It's not. It's the entire turn here that we just performed with knives 1 whiskey. And we're about to leave the airway. go here to our, where are we? Oh, there we are. To our flight following. So let's zoom out. So this is our flight for today. We're going to cross Italy, Sicily, and then towards Malta.
129.775 Ryanair 87 Whiskey Juliet.
Radar 124, Zagreb radar, expect Copa 1 Lima, runway 30.
Expect Copa 1 Lima, runway 30, Radar 124.
Alright, so now we're just going to wait for the climb.
Contact Zagreb radar 122.575.
Contact Zagreb radar 122.575 Magic Sun for Yankee Zulu. Good day. Zagreb radar Magic Sun 6321. Good evening. Flight level 380.
Magic Sun 6321, Zagreb radar, radar contact. Air Serbia 68 Golf, contact will be on a radar 135.275.
Contact will be on a radar 135.275 Air Serbia 68 Golf.
Croatia 223, contact Zagreb radar 122.575.
Contact Zagreb radar 122.575 Croatia 223. Zagreb radar Croatia 223 crossing flight level 253 for flight level 360 direct semi.
Croatia 223, Zagreb radar identified. Turkish 5 Kilo Yankee, contact Zagreb radar 124.85. Contact Zagreb radar 124.85. Turkish 5 Kilo Yankee, good day. Zagreb radar, Trader 124, good evening, descending via Golpa 1 Lima, flight level 366. Trader 124, Zagreb radar, radar contact. Alpine 4912, contact Zagreb radar 124.85.
Contact Zagreb radar 124.85 Alpine 4912.
Andrew, and how are you? I'm sorry I'm not reading the chat as frequently as I should. How are you, Andrew? How is everybody, by the way? There goes our hopes to land in daylight. I guess I underestimated the time passing by. Where I am right now in Portugal is still daytime. There's still sun in the sky, but I suppose this is a little more eastbound, so the sun has been set already. So probably no daylight landing in Malta. Probably not. Still, probably some twilight, but definitely no sun. I missed you in the last flight, Drexy, by the way. You couldn't come. I understand, but still missed you. I enjoy our conversations here during the flight, so please keep it coming, because you keep me company during these flights, and I appreciate that. You and Andrew, of course.
Zagreb radar, Croatia 4 Hotel Victor, good evening, flight level 209 up. Croatia 4 Hotel Victor, Zagreb radar contact. Croatia 108, heavy contact on rate control 120.425. Contact on rate control 120.425, Croatia 108, heavy, good day. Magic Sun for Yankee Zulu, contact on rate control 120.425, bye-bye. 10 down 120.425, Magic Sun for Yankee Zulu, good day. Zagreb radar, Buskin 363, good evening, flight level 370.
So I'm only going to compress time 2 times, because in the last flights with the Fenix aircraft I've noticed that putting it on 4 times compression will lead to some undesired deviations and some bumps, so this will reduce our flight for today in about 1 hour, so I think it's enough. So for now, let's keep it at that.
BC, Croatia 223, flight level 360.
Croatia 223, Brindisi, radar contact.
That was scary. So we had traffic at the same co-altitude, but it passed to our left. It was a close call, but still quite clear.
Brindisi LL 289, flight level
259. It went inside our 5 nautical miles, actually 2.5 nautical mile ring, but well inside the 5 nautical mile ring. It went about 2.5 or less, but still enough to clear conflict with no issues. If it was inside a collision course, we would be given an instruction to climb or descend the plane. Some planes can automatically perform that for us. Others will demand a pilot intervention, but not needed now. There's the equal time point right there, so we're halfway, almost halfway through our flight in about 80 nautical miles, less than that, 70. So yeah, going fine. 2 times compression, still far off our top of descent at Libro, but we're about 258 nautical miles from our top of descent, give or take, and then we'll start our descent. Then we'll have our approach. I already prepped the approach. We're gonna require radar vectors, but I did set the threshold, so I selected null air as a transition, because that will give us, at 3,000 feet, will be quite far from the runway, give us enough time for everything we need to do. So we're at NEDOX will be 13 nautical miles, at null air will be 11 nautical miles, so 23 nautical miles, 23.5 nautical miles down to the threshold and land. I think that's not down to the glide path and land. That missed the word there. It's good enough. I prefer to have a longer distance, even though we'll be flying at 3,000 feet for a long time. So we'll be flying at 3,000 feet until Neben, right there. So that's 11 plus 5, 16 nautical miles at 13,000 feet, 3,000 feet, sorry, at 230 knots, but I honestly prefer to have that. Actually, we need to reduce to 180, but still, I prefer the longer range. But we never know, the radar vectors sometimes will just pull us in somewhere in between or even further away. We just need to understand that we need to descend to 3,000 feet. In case of missed approach, track 132 degrees, that's runway, the runway magnetic orientation, so 132 is same on track for 3,000 feet and continue as directed, because every approach and departure from Malta needs to be performed by radar, apparently, because there are no stars or SIDS. I'm not sure if there are any SIDS, but there's definitely no stars. Let me check if there are any. Oh, there are SIDS. There are some SIDS. There they are. Just no stars. We only have approach. We don't have arrival, which is funny. but some airports are like these. They just require radar vectoring. Malta is a very particular island, so it's set in south from Sicily, and I believe that there's some restrictions to airspace around here, so I suppose they just want pilots to follow radar vectoring because there may be some military activity or something like that. I guess that's the, I'm just guessing why. But to be honest, if you have ILS and RP approaches, which are okay, I suppose, you might have arrivals as well, because I know the island is small, but still, it would be much safer to have a standard arrival. Just my 2 cents, but they know better. They're the ones controlling their own airspace, I suppose. So you can see here how small Malta is. This is Sicily, Italy, and then Malta is right there. We don't even see the island itself. It's that little orange dot there. Very small island in the middle of the Mediterranean. I guess it's closer to Sicily than to the African coast, but still it's a little jump from there.
Brindisi Wizard 1 Alpha Quebec, good evening, flight level 258.
Wizard 1 Alpha Quebec, Brindisi identified, continue climb to flight level 390.
Continue climb to flight level 390, Wizard 1 Alpha Quebec.
Croatia 223, contact Rome, radar 123.95, have a good evening.
Center on 123.95, Croatia 223. Runway down Croatia 223, flight level 360.
Croatia 223, Rome, radar contact.
Oh, have you? Nice, Trexie. I heard it has some beautiful beaches down there. I have not been there. So we're now off the coast of Italy, heading towards Sicily, and that's the last piece of land before Malta. It's crazy to see that our alternate for this flight is Rome Fiumicino. Why not Sicily, right? It's much closer, or even Tunisia. It's closer than Rome. So for those that don't know, Rome is somewhere over, let's see if I can find Rome for you guys. I really don't like this scrolling. Yeah, there's no way to scroll this. But yeah, Rome is somewhere up north, central Europe, central Italy, sorry. Let's see if I can find it. So that's Perugia. Yeah, it's hard to circle around. I would say it's somewhere over here. But I can't, for some reason, with chase plane cameras, I can't make my turn. Anyway, Rome is somewhere around here, and as you can see, even if it was farther south, even if it was, which is not, so it's somewhere over here. Actually, I think it's even northbound, even more north. I think it's somewhere over here. You can see that Sicily will be closer. There's a decent airport here, Sigonella. But for some reason, Simbrief chose Rome as our alternate. And I suppose if you are inbound and you have an issue anywhere during your flight, you can easily detour towards Rome rather than just carry on flying. You want to land as soon as possible. If for some reason, however, Malta is closed while you're on the arrival phase, then you need to fly back all the way to Rome. So I guess this alternate is not a good choice. Let's see if I can find the airport location. Your coordinates. Let's skip that. Let's not waste time on that. Let's concentrate on our approach. We are going to get radar vectors towards Luqa. This is the name of the airport in Malta, right there, Luqa. Kilo. So Lima Uniform Kilo. Quebec Alpha. We're expecting runway. Which one is it? I forgot. 13. So runway 13. We're expecting this approach right here. It's actually the longer runway, 10,900 meters versus 7,700 meters. So really preferable, almost 11,000 meters, 11 kilometers. Yeah, I'm sorry. What am I saying? 10,000 feet. not kilometers. So it's 3,000 meters, 3 kilometers. And so it's a preferable runway instead of the 2,300 meters. So we can start checking our performance, although it's a bit early to tell if that's actually our runway. So runway 13, runway appears to be dry, there's no significant weather there. Apply the METAR. Temperature is still hot, 19 degrees, QNH 1015. Our landing weight will be, so the quickest way to calculate that is just calculate gross weight. Hello? What the heck? I can't press any buttons here? What the hell happened? Oh, because this one's open. Oh my god. So the best way to calculate is go to the init page, and check your zero fuel weight. Zero fuel weight is 56.3 and your current weight is 5,400. But you come here to your flight plan and it will tell you the expected fuel on board. So just add 4.7 to 56.3, and that's 56.3 plus 4.7, that's 60 on the mark. So landing weight is 60. We're going to set low auto brakes, reverse max, and manual landing. Flaps is going to be flaps 3, and auto thrust will be on. That will give us a 2,096 meters stopping distance. That's the factored stopping distance. 3,315 meters LDA, and this is the maximum extension. This is our landing distance. So we are going to need 2,000 meters to stop the plane. So that's pretty much enough. And as you can see here, we got the wind coefficients. We're going to get a nice 12 knots, almost nose wind. That will give us a 10 nautical mile wind straight on, and a slight 6 knots component to the right. So it's going to push us a little bit to the right, but most of the wind force will be at 10 nautical miles nose up. Nice. Of course, we may need to review this if the VTAR changes along the way. So, we will see. Almost there. We can already see Sicily. Quite a big island, Sicily.
Croatia 223 radar vectors ILS runway 13. Report ready for descent.
Radar vectors, ILS runway 13.
So we got confirmation of radar vectors for ILS runway 03. We're already seeing the approach right there. We're still a bit off from the top of descent, but let's call our passengers back to their seats. Set up terrain on ND on my co-pilot. This is not Malta, by the way. This is just Sicily. I believe that's Malta up there. Yeah, looks like Malta. Or not. Malta should be up front, right on 12 o'clock. Maybe that's Northern Africa already. So it's telling us to insert destination data, but we already did that, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Let's review. So first of all, let's reduce our time compression so we don't get issues. Alright, let's go back to flight plan. Performance. So let's review the QNH. So there was no VTAR info available. I had to resort to my Navigraph tablet, and we're doing it again. So QNH 105, that didn't change. Temperature is 17, so that changed. And our magnetic wind is now 090 at 9, so 090 at 9. That's important. And the transition altitude is 5,500 feet.
223, Luqa landing, runway 13.
Luqa, landing runway 13, Croatia 223.
Alright. Why can't I start my descent? Alright, we'll start our descent on our own.
Croatia 223, request altitude change.
So our initial altitude,
I didn't get that altitude. Say again, altitude.
3,000, if we can get there. Croatia 223 request 3,000 feet. Let's see if it accepts that.
Croatia 223, I didn't get that altitude. Say again, altitude.
Oh my god. 3,000 feet.
Croatia 223, I
Now,
didn't get that
disregard.
altitude. Say again, altitude.
Disregard.
Croatia 223, I didn't get that altitude. Say again, altitude.
Flight level 100.
Croatia 223, enable your flight is to the south and flight level.
Oh my god, just
even numbered flight
be
level.
quiet.
Please pick another altitude.
Extend the speed brakes.
Cancel altitude change, Croatia 223.
Croatia 223, roger, altitude change request cancelled.
Here I am trying to
Croatia
follow the
223,
rules.
descend to flight level 290.
Send to flight level 290, Croatia 223.
Alright, speed brakes in. So I noticed that the 319 has a very low tolerance for speed brakes out during descent. It kind of requires high speeds for the speed brake, which, I don't know, it's alright I guess.
223.
So we're still in Sicily. This is still Sicily right here. So Malta should be that island over here. Should be somewhere over there. I mean the airport, Luqa airport should be somewhere over there. This is Malta up ahead. This is still Sicily.
Airbus 399 with no contact on radar 131.1. Center on 131.1, Airbus 399.
Yeah, Drexy, I had to this today. I had to start earlier so I can finish earlier. Don't get too used to that. I don't mind doing the streams early, but I'm always busy, so it's kind of hard to keep up earlier schedule. But one can try. I certainly tried today and it worked, so maybe in the future I can make a few flights earlier. We'll see.
Croatia 223.
So 150, and then we should have a discontinuity here. Let's confirm that. Yeah. So we will need radar vectors towards Noller out of Durka. So I'm gonna clear this GZO because we'll definitely need vectors to the approach. For now we'll just keep on descending, and now that the plane is, we need to extend speed brakes out because it wants to go. Hopefully we'll get to Noller, but we will never know. We're just waiting for the vectors. Usually in real life, when you are given radar vectors, they'll tell you fly direct to, say, Dirka, sorry, and expect radar vectors, but beyond ATC is not that smart yet. So it will just not tell us when the vectoring will start. They will just tell you turn right heading blah blah blah, expect vectors. So we will get there at any point. So in the discontinuity we'll just go to heading and wait for their instructions to carry on descending and turning. There it is. 205.
Turn right, heading 205, Croatia 223.
So it appears to be making us turn direct to Noller, which is what we want. Now we're going to go to Malta Control.
Contact Malta Control on 22.775
and expect further instructions.
Malta Control.
We already performed the descent checklist. MCDU landing performance reviewed. TCAS set for below. Approach briefing. Will. Navigates and TI is not required. FIS and descent to constraint.
Descend to flight level 100.
So let's go flight level 100. Carry on descending. We are in open descent. We are no longer in managed descent because, well, we can set it. As you can see, I'm pressing it. Nothing happening because we are no longer in lateral navigation. We're just
223, turn right, heading 215.
Turn right,
215.
215, Croatia 223.
We can also set manual descent by setting ourselves a decent descent rate, so let's say 2000 with the speed brakes out. We want to get as fast as we can to that assigned altitude before we attempt anything. So there's a little fog or mist. As you can see, we are very much deviating from the original flight plan, but it's no big deal. In fact, it's actually expected. So let's go to Luqa radar. So we're off the mist, so it was just a cloud layer. Let's turn on track IR. Speed brake still out, no longer necessary. So let's arm the speed brakes.
QNH 1015, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 13, Croatia 223.
I don't know why it's telling me to retract the speed brakes if it keeps accelerating, but we can also reduce the descent rate so it can keep up. Airbus in general, they always require drag on descent, unless the plane is empty.
20 miles from Nedex.
Right.
Turn left, heading 180, 883,000 feet
Let's
until
descend to
established on
3000.
final approach course. Clear ILS runway 13.
Turn left, heading 180, 3,000 feet until
So we're clear for the ILS. We just need to descend a little faster now. Let's turn on the landing system as well as our approach mode. So the plane will now perform the necessary turns for the ILS.
Ryanair 3882, contact Luqa Tower 135.1. Contact Tower 135.1, 3882.
So let's go for the track IR. Oh, I'm afraid I picked a different camera here by accident. Stand by real quick. Oh, there's a new version I need to download. Alright, stand by because I turned off something. I need to turn it back on. Everything's turned on, what the heck? Alright, no track IR for now. No, it's not a big deal. All right.
Center on 122.775, contract 142.
Wonder if do I have track IR? No track IR. Ah, now I have track IR. Nice. So now I just need to set this correctly, and there we go. All right. Coming up on the left-hand turn, let's help the plane a little bit by turning in a little bit sooner. It will intercept and begin its own guidance. Meanwhile, let's activate the approach phase. Done. Alright, so the localizer has been intercepted, and now we'll start reducing our speed towards the desired airspeeds. We got some tailwind, 3 knots, nothing too fancy. So we're a little bit above the glide path, but no big deal, still far ahead. You see, this is why I want to get here faster. Alright, we're too fast, speed brakes out. So we got time to descend, decelerate, turn, all that jazz. The farther you do this, the better. So I have my speed brakes out so we can extend our flaps, reduce our speed. So we're way above desired speeds. So this should have been turned on below 10,000. So let's go for the approach checklist. Just waiting for the flaps. Altitude set local, which is, what's the QNH? See, I want this to be cross 1015 and 1015. Set and cross-checked. We're still a bit too fast. Still no gear. Actually, we're gonna extend the gear to get us another speed brake out, basically. Gear down. Auto brake set low. And the terrain on co-pilots. External lights set all. Speed check flaps 1. So we are clear to land. Clear to ILS.
Croatia 223, contact Luqa Tower 135.1.
Speed check flaps 2.
135.1, Croatia 223. Luqa Tower, Croatia 223, ILS runway 13.
Croatia 223, Luqa Tower, continue.
So you see lots of time and distance to clear everything, to make sure that your plane is slowed down on the localizer, on the glide path. And speed check flaps 3. Right. What the heck? Ah, see, I forgot. I forgot. See, I was saying in the beginning I would turn that off, but I need to remember to turn it on. Since it's not on the checklist, I should have made my cockpit overhead flow, and I didn't. I would find that button was off. So there was no recirculation in the cargo compartment. That's what it was warning me about. Oh, speed brake. Back in and armed. Now checklist EFIs as required, and the terrain as required. Gear down 3 green. External lights set to all, nose wheel lights set for takeoff. Auto brakes are set to low. Spoilers are armed. Approaching flaps, landing 3. Landing memo status no blue. Continue. So, not clear to land yet. So we'll stay on autopilot for now.
Croatia 223, wind 090 degrees.
Now we're clear to land.
Runway 13 cleared to land.
Runway 13 cleared to land, Croatia 223.
Clear to land, continue. Autopilot off. I pressed that second autopilot button too quickly, that's why you only heard one stroke of the cavalry charge. So our decision altitude is 455. I just need to follow the flight director. A little low on the glide path. Little pedal to the right. There you go. Just keep those diamonds on the green. Sorry, not on the green. On the yellow.
Approaching 13.
Confirmed 13. Just follow the flight director. It's your best friend. Little low. Get above that. There it is. It's perfectly okay not to be exactly on the yellow, but you should go anywhere near those little dots above and below. You should keep it on the center point of those diamonds.
100 above.
Check.
Minimum.
Continue. Look outside. A little low. Little high.
40. Retard. Retard.
And we landed a little bit off the center line. Nothing to write home about. Reverse is on. Auto brake set. Roll out. It's not my best landing for sure, but I've done worse. Reverse off.
Croatia 223.
Auto brakes off.
Auto brake off.
Exit next available taxiway, Croatia 223.
So the next available taxi should be this one, but it's a little steep turn. But let's do this.
All aircraft be advised information Charlie now.
Runway exit procedures.
1015.
After landing checklist, landing lights off, nose wheel lights set for taxi, flaps set up. Spoilers disarmed.
Croatia 223. Contact ground 121.6.
Ground 121.6, Croatia 223.
TCAS set to off or standby. Terrain set off.
Ryanair 121 Golf on our way to Luton.
Ryanair
APU on a wing anti-ice and engine anti-ice not required. APU bleed will be on when available.
Obliger 2 Bravo departure. Squawk 543.
Weather radar predictive wind shear set off.
Ryanair 121
After landing checklist above the line complete.
Back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Let's hold here, wait for
Ryanair 121 Golf.
clearance.
Croatia 223, request taxi to assigned gate.
Croatia 223, taxi. taxi via Charlie, Tango, Foxtrot, hold short of runway 13.
Taxi via Charlie, Tango, Foxtrot, hold short of runway 13, Croatia 223.
CTF. So let's go down
Ryanair
here.
121 Golf.
I think we need to go back.
And engine starts.
Ryanair 121 Golf.
So we are on C, then Tango, then Fox. Where's Fox?
Face southeast. Ryanair 121 Golf.
This is Juliet. Probably this one. Oh, right here. So Charlie via Tango and then turn on Fox. So we're probably going to backtrack to get the other gates, which is quite unusual, but okay. Maybe it's usual for this airport. Not a very big airport in terms of terminal, but it is quite huge in terms of area, as you can see. There are two main areas, and then the runways go in between. So this is Tango. We are out of Charlie, and now we need to turn left to Fox and hold short. Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I wanted to fly Air Malta, but I cannot find for the life of me a decent livery for Malta. I can't. So probably the flight out of Malta will be on a 737 from Ryanair, because I can't find this livery anywhere. This livery right here. I've searched in Flight Sim TO. Well, I searched for the Fenix A320 and I couldn't find it. I'm sorry, I searched for the the Fenix. I was right. So forward is Fox, correct? Yep, that's the second turn. Right, where this plane is going, basically. I bet he's not going to wait to cross, but I need to wait to cross.
Ryanair 121 Golf via Foxtrot, cross runway 13, taxi via Foxtrot, hold short of runway 13.
Via Foxtrot, cross runway 13, taxi via Foxtrot, holding short of runway 13, Ryanair 121 Golf.
Croatia 223, waiting to cross 13.
Approaching 13.
Croatia 223, hold short of runway 13,
holding short.
Back.
Holding short of runway 13, Croatia 223.
PU bleeding zone. We can initiate CETO, so single engine taxi in. We're going to turn off engine 1. CT, SETI, single engine taxi in. So the plane that Ryanair will backtrack, which is quite unusual. Isn't there? Yeah, there are multiple taxiways here that it could use to get to the 13 initial point. We could have gone via Tango, then Hotel, and hold up Hotel November, but for some reason it's backtracking the runway. Oh well. What do you think, Betsy? Do we have passengers? We do not. Thank you, GSX. We did see them come in. We just don't see. There are two major companies in Malta, Trexie. There's Air Malta and Malta Air. So Malta Air is a subsidiary for Ryanair. And nowadays...
Via Foxtrot, cross runway 13, taxi via Foxtrot, hold short of runway 13.
Via Foxtrot, cross runway 13,
I don't get this
via
instruction.
Foxtrot, hold short of runway 13,
What does it want me to do?
223.
Oh, I need to...
Croatia 223, via Foxtrot, cross runway 13, taxi to Ram Sierra 5 via Foxtrot, Hotel Sierra, Hotel Juliet, cross runway 05, continue taxi via Kilo Lima Romeo, Quebec Papa.
Via Foxtrot cross runway 13 taxi to ramp Sierra 5 via Foxtrot Hotel Sierra Hotel Juliet cross
So,
runway 05 continue
it appears
taxi
that
by Kilo
the airport
Lima,
I got
Romeo, Quebec Papa Croatia 223
does not have these taxiways drawn in. So these taxiways on my airport don't exist. Probably because this version of Malta airport is outdated and the producers didn't update it. So never good. Oh, that's a big no-no. Oh my god. Good thing I delayed my taxi. It should say the same instruction, but it should say after departing traffic.
On runway 31, 1,300 meters remaining.
So that entire taxiway there doesn't exist for beyond ATC, and there's a good reason for that. This airfield, apparently, the taxiway is there, it's just the GSX file. Maybe I need to update the GSX, the taxiway data information and all that, because it's missing. All these are missing in the taxiway map, so the ground map. So now I need to exit here on the runway threshold area and make this funky turn where I could, in theory, exit to the left. Can I exit to the left? Because I need to get somewhere over on the left side there. I can either go and do that funky turn or just to the left. You know what? I'm gonna take it. So we need to go via to ramp S5, and as you can see there's a taxiway here. I'm unsure if there should be a taxiway here. There shouldn't, but as you can see there's a little taxiway here. If I don't obey to that, I need to make a very long turn. So close your eyes, nothing to see. We'll get to the ramp. You didn't see nothing. We're navigated. That's what all that matters. And we're on the correct taxiway now. If I didn't do this, I would have to go all the way around through this hangar area and come back down here again, crossing yet another runway and all that jazz. So now all you need to do is go to Sierra 5, which is one of those over there. Right there. So we need to get to Sierra 5. It's a very remote gate area, by the way. Oh, this is a military area. My bad. No one saw it anyway. Yeah, this is the general aviation. No, I'm not going to go there. This is a general aviation parking. See? It's the second time GSX does this to me. I don't know why. We can't go there, so let's go to gate 7. Let's make it a small gate. Just warp me there. Alright, here we are. We are at the gate. Parking brake set. At least we can teleport. External lights off. And engine shut down. And request deboarding. Are we getting deboarding? I hope we are. Beacon off. Let's carry on. After landing, done. Parking checklist. Parking brake is set. Oh, there it is. Nav aids are set to off. So let's just clear this altogether. Flight directors off. ND ARC10 and set. NTI is not required. Let's request the GPU. It's already here. We can turn off the APU bleed and engine and master switch. Landing flaps off. Fuel pumps set to off. Beacon is off. Seatbelt signs to off. External power is on and transponder set to standby. Cockpit door to open. Alright, welcome to Malta. Not my best landing. I landed off the center line for sure. Can also turn off the wing lights here. But I also landed worse. This is a very cool destination for vacation, Malta. Not entirely sure if it's cheap or not, but I actually had a... Oh, that doesn't look good. These trucks are all over the place since the last few updates. GSX just messed their entire ground path. Like I was saying, I have a friend that lived or lives in Malta. Not entirely sure, but yeah. So there goes the passengers. Welcome to Malta, very cool destination, like I said. Apparently it's a fiscal paradise, so lots of companies move there. This is a walk-in gate, by the way, so people will just go on foot to the terminal. There are better terminals up there, but closer to the terminal, but still. This was the Fenix A319 from Fenix Sim, so Fenix Airbus A319 from Fenix Sim. That's better for Croatia Airlines. Next flight will be out of Malta. I accept suggestions where to go, and I will have to be very careful with the taxi out because apparently this is an outdated GSX file for the taxiways. So I need to review that when leaving, but we got here in one piece, everything's fine. The flight was very uneventful except for that little off-center landing. I didn't count the wind would be that strong up on touchdown. It pushed me to the right, but we got it. We landed safely. Look at that truck. Look at this. This is not normal. This is not normal GSX. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. Remember, if you like this kind of content, leave a like, subscribe. Also, tell your friends about it. Share this video and all the others. Also subscribe so you don't. Oh my God! It's running over the passengers. This is absurd. Yeah, and if you guys feel like it, there's also a link in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee page. Remember, this channel is not monetized by YouTube, so any help would be very much appreciated. All money invested will be reinvested in buying new add-ons, new sceneries, new airplanes. So this is a non-profit business here. So guys, thank you so much for coming once more, and I'll see you next time. And I really appreciate your company. As for personal goodbyes, of course I have to say goodbye to my good friend Drexy. He's always available, always present. I also need to thank Andrew for being around, always present, my dear moderator. And yeah, guys, see you next time. Thank you so much for your company. Bye.
Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dreams begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the